Hi everyone, welcome back to Zira. My name's Charlie, and in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to build one of our forms. Paper forms go digital with Zira's form builder, making it easier to access information when your team needs it. So first, we are going to navigate to the channel or site we want to add a form to. So for this example, I'll be going to Zira Industrial Center. Click on Forms, and on the right, you'll see Add Form. Let's click that and create new form. So this is the form builder. Once you're in the form builder, you'll notice the form name and the description. The form name is required. Next, form in sequence. This allows you to link multiple separate forms together. If you would like to link forms, you simply click the area and a drop-down menu will appear with your other forms listed below. Publish to. This allows you to change the channel where the form will be published. Again, another long list of channels to choose from. And then once we go down to static, so static will only keep one record of the form data. So the previous values will be populated at the time of entry and will update the existing record. Down below, you'll see our 10 different fields that we offer. Our first one is text. This allows a user to enter free text into a box. Number, this enforces that only numbers are entered. Physical measurement, this adds the unit of measure to the value entered instead of having the user specify each time. Checkbox, this simply just adds a checkbox to your form. Drop-down lists, this predefines the values users can select for your answers. So the answers will be selected from a drop-down list once it's created. Radio buttons, this is you can predefine the values users can select for this answer as well. And then the users will click a button to select that specific answer. Labels, this allows you to add labels as needed through your form. Image allows the user the ability to add an image when completing the form. Signature, this allows you to or one of your teammates to add a signature using your mouse or your finger on mobile devices. And lastly, our section, this allows you to split the form into multiple sections. Okay, so now that we have covered the basics, let's run through an example and digitize an Excel version of a boiler inspection log. So first, we will enter the form name and a description to get started. For this example, our form name will be boiler inspection log. Our description will be that an inspection must be completed daily. And to the right, you can see a preview of your form being built out with the name and description. So next, let's start adding some fields. So the first field we are going to add is a label. So we would simply click label and click settings. And this is where we can customize the label text. For this example, we will enter inspection information in the label text box, and then we can click close to exit the settings section. The next field we are going to add is a drop-down list. We're going to add this so an operator could select their desired shift. So we would click drop-down list. In the metric name, we are going to type in shift and click settings. And under settings, we can enter the values that will appear in the drop-down list. For option 1, we will just keep it as 1, then click the plus sign to the right of the box. A new text box will appear. We can add a second option. For this, we'll add 2. If we want to even add a third one, press that plus sign again and enter 3 in the third text box. We can click show more, and this will display the other options related to this field. And if we want, we can mark this question as required to fill out, and then we can click close on the settings. The next field we are going to add is a physical measurement. So we will click that, and under metric name, we will enter steam pressure and press enter. You can simply add a new metric if you would like. And then under type, it is required. We are going to select pressure and then click settings. And for the description, we are going to enter what is the operating steam pressure for the description. And then from units of measure, the drop-down list, we will select PSI, and then we will close our settings. And that is the physical measurement field. So the next field we are going to add is a number field. We're going to add this so the operator can enter their employee number. So we'll click number. Under metric name, we will enter inspector ID and press enter. Let's open the settings for the field, and as a description, we will add employee number. We're going to make this required. It automatically makes it required, and then we will click close. So the next field we are going to add is a text field. We're going to add this for anyone filling out the form to leave any necessary comments. It's a fairly simple field. You'll simply click text, and once it pops up, if we want to use the drop-down menu, there's many different common metrics names that are included in the drop-down menu for text by default. If you want to add a custom metric when building the form, you can then access them using the drop-down on future forms. But for this one, we are just going to leave it as text, and it automatically keeps it as a required property. If we want to change that, we'd simply uncheck required in the settings, and then we will close that. Next, we are going to add a section field to display the final checks on a separate page on the form. We will simply click section, and for the section title, once we go to settings, we will just enter final checks. And then notice in the preview section on the top right, you have a separate section for the final checks, and then we will click close. The next field we are going to add is a checkbox. We'll be using a simple checkbox to confirm that the boiler is secured. So we will click checkbox, and for the metric name, we're going to enter boiler secure. And let's click the settings for the field. And for the label, let's check the box to confirm the boiler is secured. And once that is complete, we can close that. And that is the checkbox field. So now that we have added a new section and added a field under that section, you will see now, if we were to complete out this form, it would lead us to another section of the form, which would contain the checkbox that we just made. To finish up though, we are going to add a signature field. This field is typically all set and doesn't require any updates. Unless you require two signatures in the same form, then you would need to update the metric name. And then our last field we are going to add is an image field. This field is typically all set as well and doesn't require any updates. The metric name is set to image, but this field will typically add a button to your form that opens the camera if you're on your mobile device or allows you to attach an image on your desktop. Okay. Now that we have completed our form, we're going to go ahead and save it. We're going to want to go to the top right. And now our form has been created successfully, and it should pop up at the top of your Forms tab. And if we actually want to go ahead and fill it out, you would just click it. And let's say we did the first shift. We can go ahead and add a number to what the steam pressure was. Our employee number. We can add any necessary comments we would like. And let's go to that next section that we created for final checks. We can then check the box to confirm that the boiler is secured, even add a nice signature, and we can add an image if we would like, and then we can click submit. So that was our first reading and entry for a boiler inspection log form. If we want to see it, we would hover over the form and click that, and now we can see the exact time and when that entry came in for our form. And that is Zira Digital Forms. Thanks for watching.